we are about to enter a whole new era with peak oil. Petroleum geologists predict at some point between 2006 and 2010 we will pass the planetary peak oil spike, and from then on, with every year, there will be less and less net energy available to humankind no matter what we do. And this is, I believe, an epoch of such enormity that to make any meaningful comparison at all, you've got to go back to the Mayans, to the Romans, and the collapse of the last complex civilizations. Because those civilizations, they didn't collapse just because people got bored of being Mayans and Romans. The high priest didn't come out onto the temple steps at Chichen Itza one solstice giving it, oh, this is bollocks, isn't it? What am I doing? Really? And the Roman Empire didn't end just because they got bored of being Romans. In the last days of Rome, you only about 30 people showing up at the Colosseum, and the gladiators' hearts weren't in it. And they're like... Even the lions are bored. Most of the gladiators ended up playing Gaylord tennis. But the scoring was fiendishly difficult because the hot Italian sun made perspiration inevitable, no matter the sang-froid of the individual dandy racketeer. Those civilizations collapsed because their strategies for energy capture became subject to the law of diminishing returns. Now, there's a brilliant book out in a minute about peak oil called The Party's Over. Oil, War, and the Fate of Industrial Societies, although I sometimes suspect that it's because my own life is so empty that I'm powerfully attracted to a book whose title is The Party's Over. Yeah, Jude Law, swanning around the globe with all your actress girlfriends. Well, I'm afraid to have to tell you the party's over. And all you young people driving away in the nightclub discotheques, going home and having free love, excuse me while I take the needle off the record. The party's over. And Richard Heinberg, who wrote The Party's Over, his thesis is, look, the name we gave to the world that first coal and then oil made is industrial society. When we pass the peak oil spike and oil depletes rapidly, it is the collapse of industrial society. And that faced with this enormous fact, this elephant in the room, humans are in denial, looking as ever for the quick techno fix, but there is no way out. Not this time, but we are suckers, and we need to believe. Like the victims of every conflict ever played, we need to believe, but there is no way out. Well, we run out of oil, we go to the hydrogen economy, but there are no hydrogen reservoirs. Beneath the Thames Valley, you make hydrogen fuel cells from fossil fuel cells. You can use hydrogen fuel cells to store wave and wind. It's not useless, but it's not an energy source, it's an energy carrier. No way out. Well, we run out of oil, we go to the nuclear option. Well, apart from everything else is the small matter. That from mining to decommissioning, the nuclear cycle as a whole produces 75% as much carbon emissions as coal-fired gas stations, non-starter. No way out. I don't want to bum you out totally. There are some hopeful technologies, credit where it's due. I mean, not enough people are investing in these technologies, but okay, they're there. If you must have cars in the future, they can be powered by zinc air fuel cells, which produce a non-toxic byproduct, the zinc oxide, which is a kind of viscous, thick, creamy white substance which can be recycled into fresh zinc fuel pellets using electrolysis and walnut oil. And the catalyst that they're developing at Stanford University is thermobroma cacao, or coca solids. So the car of the future will drive along powered by zinc air fuel cells, and out the back, on a little tray, will be produced a row of this thick, creamy white substance surrounded by a chocolate whirl with a walnut on the top. There is no way out. And transport is the least of our concerns. There is the small matter of the oil we eat.